you can get pen and paper ready to jot down a few thoughts and notes about yourself or the talk. So I've sent emails to you earlier today. There could be 2 emails, and there's included on the link, you can download worksheet plan with lots of notes, and you can click on it. I've also produced a workbook so you can print it out and write down the plans and goals on each of the pillars of lifestyle. And I was going to sell it, but I couldn't be bothered selling it for a few dollars. So I just let everyone download it. So in the email, you should have the link on how to download it. So I'll get everyone to mute themselves.
Mute yourself. Who are you?
All right. So welcome to the talk again. So I'm just going to introduce myself a bit. Some people who don't know me, I'm a GP in Montana, and I've been a GP for 20 years. A few years ago, when my kids grown up bigger and stopped becoming babies, I wanted to lose some weight. So I joined the gym and participated in their 8-week body transformation program, and I lost a few kilos and felt much better. Since then, I looked into the science of low-carb nutrition. I did studies with Nutrition Network, Low Carb Down Under, and ACNAM. And 2 years ago, I set up Low Carb Melbourne with Tracy McBeath, Helena Castanis, Gillian Harvey, and I started a support group called Low Carb Melbourne. The group just turned 2 a couple of days ago. We are a supportive community and organize lots and lots of gatherings. Yes, Alice. Was there, Alice, any problems, Alice? So I'm going to keep going. So I recently become a metabolic health practitioner with the Society of Metabolic Health Practitioner in the States. And I started branching out from being a normal GP in my own clinic, in the bulk billing clinic, to set up my own clinic called Melbourne Low Carb Clinic, as you can see. And patients can get up to 45 minutes consultation. I'm only doing 1 day a week at the moment, but I think from February onwards, I can increase it to 1.5 days or 2 days a week. These patients are not rushed out of the door, and I will listen to these patients. We dive into all aspects of lifestyle, and at each consultation, I draw up a plan on using lifestyle measures to improve their health. So in the bottom picture is the other part of me is when I was running this marathon. This is Melbourne Marathon in 2019. I've trained and ran 2 full marathons, 42 kilometers in the last 3 years. And I used low carb nutrition while I was running these 2 marathons, and I became a fat adapted athlete. I enjoyed running very much, but this wasn't, I wasn't very athletic in my younger years. So I've developed this interest, and you can all build up on your exercise as well as I did. So I'm going to remind you, this is a webinar, is just general advice. Please do not treat it as individualized medical treatment. You can come in to see me in the clinic, and I will tailor a plan to your specific needs, and that will be specific treatment. But thank you for attending my webinar. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to succeed with your New Year resolution for the upcoming new year. So type in the chat box, succeed. So we're going to succeed in this New Year resolution. I'm just going to remind everyone to mute yourself. I'm sorry. I haven't figured out how to mute everybody, but please mute yourself. Oh, well done. Succeed. Lots of succeeds. So there's a poll on 2,000 Americans found that it only takes 32 days for the average person to break their New Year resolution. So about 68% of these actually, they give up sooner than 32 days. So we're trying to hope to get the New Year resolution to last longer than 32 days. Hopefully we can get people to have longer lasting New Year resolutions, longer than 32 days. So Aristotle said, we are what we would repeatedly do. Excellent then is not an act, but a habit. So we need to build on our habit. Then we get used to doing things. It becomes habit, automatic. We don't need to think about it as much. So we need to work on building good habits and stopping bad habits. This year, we're going to make it happen, not just sitting it at the back of our mind or saying it on New Year's Day and forget about it after 32 days. And then another year goes by and nothing happens. So tonight, I'm going to help you succeed on how to build the New Year resolution. So tonight, I'm going to give you lots of ideas. You will have lots of fruitful thoughts to how to make the plan work. You'll come out of the webinar with lots of ideas to create a new life, a new habit for your new life. You write it down and do the measures you need to help you succeed with all the ideas that has come and gone into your head. You don't have to do all the changes at once. You might just want to make small steps to improve your life. Maybe just one change first, one meal first, change your breakfast maybe another month you can work on something else, like work on your exercise. You can start small steps and build up slowly. In another month, maybe you can start mindfulness and meditation. So tonight, I'm going to give you all the fruitful thoughts and you're going to think about it. And then you're going to make a plan for yourself. So I'm going to ask you to give me 100% attention. Put in the chat box, 100%. Focus on execution from Carrie. Absolutely. We're going to focus and we're going to succeed. And tonight, you're going to give me 100% attention. No scrolling on the phone. Yay, lots of 100%. You are here already. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to be scrolling on the phone and looking at other things. So if you give me the attention for this hour, you can have lots more ideas on how you can work towards a new you. So you deserve this time for yourself, and I'm going to help you work together. I've got lots of 100%. Yay. So you can come out feeling equipped with ideas on how to transform your life, create new habits, and succeed on improving your health, mindset. And we're going to kick lots of goals. I'm going to help you succeed this year and work it to become a habit, and it's going to be automatic. Put in the chat box, yes, if you like to focus on working on improving yourself. Yes, yes. Yes, lots of yeses. Thank you. Great. So you'll see on my email that there's this New Year resolution worksheet, which includes the notes of the talk, and there's links you can click on, and there's some tips and there's some links, so you can have a look at this notes afterwards. It's included in the email that I've sent you earlier tonight, and there's links to my free ebook if you haven't downloaded already. Lots of people say yes, thank you. So first of all, get your pen and paper, get a list going. We're going to stop doing this list of things. So create a stop doing list. So write down a few things on what you want to stop doing. You can share, you don't have to share. If you like to share, share, but if you don't, doesn't matter. So I've got a few things in mind that I want to stop snacking for me. Certainly stop eating sugar and processed foods. Not that I do that much, but Stop eating sugars. Stop staying up late. Just examples, I don't stay up late. Stop checking emails all the time. Stop mindless scrolling on social media. Stop feeling guilty of self-care. Stop putting everyone first before yourself. A lot of mums are guilty of doing this. Put yourself first. Nobody's going to care for you more than you. So you have to care for yourself. Stop some addictions. Stop stacking after dinner in the evening, which is the only time I do it. So I must I must admit I snack with nuts before dinner. So that is bad of me, and that is my New Year resolution. So I'm going to admit it, and I'm going to tell everybody, maybe that will help me to stop snacking nuts before dinner. Stop apologizing. In my clinic, I've got a receptionist that apologizes all the time. I hear her saying, sorry, and I don't think she's on tonight, but I'm going to make a note to tell her she's going to stop apologizing. Another thing is you should stop comparing yourself to others. Don't compare. Never compare. Stop watching TV before bed. That might be a good idea. Stop screen time before bedtime is a good habit. I can't quite do it, and I'm not going to commit to doing it, but that's a very good idea.
I don't know. I must be invisible. Can you hear me, Arlene?
Yeah. Can you mute yourself? Sorry.
No. Do you know how to turn on my camera? Does anyone know how to turn my camera on? It doesn't really matter, but I'll try and mute myself. Sorry, I'm doing it on my phone. I'm not used to doing it on my phone.
Okay. All right. So we're going to create a to-do list as well. So some people want to do a list of things they want to do, because a lot of people want to lose weight. People want to start eating the right food that is nourishing for my body. So that might be a good list. Start eating the right food that's nourishing. Start prioritizing nutrition. Start exercising. A lot of people want to start exercising. Start prioritizing sleep. Maybe start keeping a journal. Maybe start meditation. Maybe start connecting with people that's helpful to me. Start working on a positive mindset and start practicing mindfulness. Start intermittent fasting again. Absolutely. Intermittent fasting is so helpful. So yeah, write it down on a list, that things you want to start. Start a hobby, maybe. Start a craft, maybe go skiing, maybe go back to traveling, maybe do some reading. If you want low carb books, I've got a low carb library. You can most welcome to come drop by at the clinic and borrow a few low carb books. So maybe you want to learn more about low carb nutrition and listen to a podcast. Learn more interesting recipes for healthy eating. Absolutely. I can certainly share you recipes or websites or recipe books if you like. But yeah, that is a good goal. Drink more water could be another thought on to-do list. So write down the list of habits you need to stop and habits that you like to build, big or small, rank them in order of importance. If you're keen to share, put it in the chat box. If you don't keen to share it with just your list. Just keep it to yourself. It doesn't matter. All right, so I work on these 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. When you come in to see me as a doctor, I drop a plan working on these 6 things. You might be sleeping okay and you don't need to work on sleep, or you might have only one or two things out of the 6. But tonight I'm going to cover all these 6 things, and I'm going to give you lots of food for thoughts and on what you can work on. Again, you can work on it slowly according to how you want it. And we're going to come out of the webinar with lots of plans on how we can improve our lifestyle. We're going to meditate every day and read before bed. Great idea. No alcohol in New Year. Feels so much better when I don't have it. So yeah, so you can write it down. If you know you feel better without it, then you remind yourself. sometimes it's hard when you're in the moment, but if you write it down, remind yourself, that might help. So first and for all, the low-hanging fruit is to optimize our nutrition. Eat real food. So a lot of these people are all from the low carb community. It's quite obvious, but we're going to talk about it over and over again. So that might help people to get things solid in their mind. Be nice to yourself, to myself. Don't need to be perfect. Absolutely. Be nice to yourself. There's no perfect. It's progression, not perfection. So first of all, prioritize our protein. Eat your meat, eggs, chicken, fish first. We're going to add some healthy fat. And yes, Alice, can you put... Hi, Alice. Would you like to say anything or put in the chat box? Progression, not perfection. Absolutely. Sorry, Alice, I don't know how what's happening. So we're going to first prioritize our protein. Number 2 is add some healthy fat. So you might like to drizzle some olive oil or add some coconut oil, avocado, nuts and seeds. Fat around the meat is all fantastic. Add some butter to your steak, a little bit of peanut butter. Make sure it's healthy, no other ingredients. And number 3 is we're going to limit our carbs or only eat the good carbs. So a little bit of berries or a little bit of root vegetables if you can tolerate it. Depends on your carb tolerance. And so we're going to aim to minimize our carbohydrates, especially the refined carbs and the sugars. Number 4 is add your salt and seasoning, and we make our food flavorful and yummy. So these are the 4 things I work on to how to build your low carb plate. So if you're new to this low carb way of eating, you're most welcome to go through my website. I have pictures and I've got a free ebook you can download on how to start low carb. And there's a free e-course on the benefits of low carb eating. Eating this way is anti-inflammatory, improves your brain health, reduces the risk of inflammation, chronic conditions such as diabetes, obesity, and it helps you lose weight and maintain your body weight. Most people feel better, less bloated, more mental clarity, and feel more energy. This way also reduces aging. So inflammation is the cause of aging. So we want to reduce the aging by reducing inflammation. It's not easy. So people will say, oh, I've fallen off the wagon. They struggle with consistency. They eat out and they can't struggle with it. So you might have pressure from your friends and families. So you might have some pressure from work or life or business. Maybe you just need some accountability. Maybe you need to come in to see me to make some regular appointments and touch base with me. In some patients, I get them to write weekly emails just to touch base with me. Doesn't cost them anything, and I'm very happy to look at the emails and reply back. I'm also starting a new e-course in January, which we'll go into later with weekly Zoom meetings. Maybe that's just the accountability and support you need. So I've got Marie saying, if you're trying to lose weight, you still need to add some fat. Yes, so you can add a little bit of fat, but not too much, depending on how much. So yeah, not too much if you're trying to lose weight. Yeah, fat doesn't make us fat, but if you add too much fat, then you can't lose your fat. So have a little bit of fat if you're trying to lose fat. Don't go overboard adding too much fat. Why I'm not losing? So there's lots of obstacles sometimes. There's lots of things that we can talk about, which I can go into. If you come in to see me as a patient. So a lot of people struggle. It could be many, many reasons. So I've got Marie putting hand up.
That's me, sorry.
No, nothing? All right. So we'll keep going. So the next pillar that I like to talk about is exercise. Just any exercise, Just start some exercise. It doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be half an hour, even if it's 5-10 minutes, it doesn't matter. So strength training is very, very beneficial. You make and build more muscles and bones, and it's very good for mental health. The key to longevity is building muscles. So having muscles improves your mitochondria, and this is the key to living longer, longevity. So I love this exercise, this video by Jamie Hayes. If you come and see me, I love this exercise, this YouTube video. It's in the link in the worksheet. So you can click on this link and follow Jamie Hayes on this YouTube video on how to get stronger in 15 minutes a day. He just shows you how to do the exercises using home equipment, some easy step-ups or easy push-ups. You can do it in a group, and that might help to have accountability. So doing exercises increases this chemical in your brain called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This BDNF is a chemical that improves learning and memory. So exercise and low-carb eating can increase this BDNF. So can fresh air, sunlight, drinking coffee, protein-rich diet, fasting, and did I say
Granny?
So we should all do exercises to increase this BDNF.
Look here. Look what I got. Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Can I ask you to mute your video, please? Hi, can I ask you to mute, please? Okay, not sure who. Okay, then there's Parkrun. I love Parkrun. It's a community event. So I started Parkrun about 7 years ago. It's 5 kilometers. You don't have to run. You can walk the whole thing. Used to take my 4-year-old son 1 hour and 15 minutes to walk the whole 5 kilometers. There's lots of events around the country. It's always on a Saturday morning, 10 minutes before 8 o'clock in Victoria, different times at different states. So you can just hang around if you're not quite up to walking the 5 kilometers. You can also be a volunteer, or you can just watch and see what they're doing, what we're doing first. I have made so many friends in the last few years, and you can find a parkrun near you. It's so helpful, and you can get in touch with your local community. Next, I'm going to give you a nature prescription. I'm going to tell you to go out into the nature. This is on my run. I actually ran and walked on Sunday. This is in the Bass Coast near Kilcunda, near Phillip Island. So this is me going for a run.
Mama.
I might give you a...
Any people from India eat fish?
And might give you a background description. So you can go to the backyard, and even if you sit for 10-15 minutes in the backyard, or take off your shoes, do some grounding, that might be really helpful to get out into the sunshine. You might get this prescription from me to just sit in the backyard. So I think this prescription is much better than giving you a blood pressure tablet other doctors do. So this is my prescription: is go out into the nature, go out into the backyard, or go out for parkrun and have a look up the local parkrun near you. The next pillar we're going to talk about is sleep. So you need to prioritize your sleep. Don't stay up too late scrolling on social media. Aim 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You can also look up your chronotype. What that means is certain people have different types of sleeping. So if your chronotype is your early riser, then you need then that's natural for you. Some people are late night owls, and that might be natural for you. So you can look up your chronotype, type in a Google, and you can find out what sort of natural sleep habits you have. So if there's not enough sleep, you actually risk increasing inflammation, chronic diseases, heart diseases, cancer, and weight gain. So some people put on weight just because they're not getting enough sleep. Good sleep also makes you make good choices when you're up for eating. And you should always have a good bedtime routine. Consistency is the key. Getting the room cool is fantastic. Be careful with coffee, alcohol, and don't stress too much about sleep. So in my research, there's a few programs. If you have problem with sleeping, you can go to sleepbetter.com.au. David Morowitz has a sleep program you can download. Guy Meadows also had a sleep school app and book. You can have a listen, and you can listen to these podcasts. The key that I have learned from listening to these is don't stress too much about sleep. You can imagine going for a walk while you're sleeping. That might be just meditating enough to try and relax and not stress too much. The more you stress, the less sleep you can get. So if you tell yourself, if you don't sleep, if you have a rest, that's fine. It's okay. So don't stress too much. So I've got this comment. I'm a long-term shift worker, 25 years of night shift. This is always contentious for me. I have required knockout tablets to help get a sleep sequence. Yeah, it might be very difficult if you're a shift worker. There are sleep physicians you can see. You can do some, I can give you some referrals to see a sleep specialist, and maybe some sleep study might be a good idea, but certainly worth trying these sleep programs like David Morowitz. I think it's a very, very cheap sleep program. I often need 7 hours of sleep. So I found out for myself, I need 7 hours, and I'm an early riser. I'm up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning doing exercise. Stress is another thing. A sleep study was eye-opening to me. Yeah, absolutely. Get a sleep study. That might be a good idea. Barton Jennings is a fantastic sleep physician, and he's low carb friendly too. So if you like to see Barton Jennings, he's a promoter of low carb nutrition. So stress is often unavoidable. It could be caused by family, work, business, relationships, or something out of the ordinary happening. We can't stop all the stress, but we can manage the stress. We can learn to manage. But I know it's easier said than done. So we can learn to manage our mindset. We can control what we can control. We can't control what other people think of us. We can't control many things like the weather, the past, other people's feelings, other people's opinions, but we can control how we react to it. If there's a thought that comes in, we can change how we feel about it. We don't have to listen to our thoughts. We don't have to listen to our cravings. It will pass. If we have a stressful situation happening, be mindful that can be the cause of stress. Be mindful of how we feel about it. So if you have stress talking to you all the time, you can learn and practice being mindful, telling yourself, that's just stress, that's okay. This is what's happening to our mind, and that might help you cope with it. There's a thing called vagus nerve. It's your parasympathetic tone. So increasing vagal tone can also improve your stress. So working on your parasympathetic system can help to reduce our stress. Simple things like deep breathing exercises. I had a podcast telling somebody, just put a little post-it note next to your computer, deep breathing 3 times. So just do some deep breathing exercises. So that can increase your vagal tone, that can reduce your stress. Meditation, which I will talk about in a minute. Singing, so just singing to yourself, humming, that can increase your vagal tone. Chanting, Maybe that's why my 10-year-old is chanting and making noises all the time. Gargling, cold exposure. So if you're game enough, and summer's certainly coming, you can expose yourself to some cold weather, not cold weather, but some cold shower. Even if it's just a few seconds, and you can learn to build it up. Gets easier when it's hotter, but that can increase your vagal tone. Sometimes that can help with sleep and improve your parasympathetic nervous system. Having a massage during exercise, socializing can be helpful, and laughing. So being positive, having a positive mindset can be very, very helpful to improve your vagal tone. All right, so I'm going to get people to type in happiness and reduce stress. So if you have lots of stress, we can learn to manage it and learn to reduce it. If you haven't followed Tracy McBeath, I've got lots of happiness and reduced stress. Awesome. If you're not following Tracy McBeath, go and follow her. She's the health and healing coach. I love her book on 100 insights on change, 100 insights that will change your life. It's certainly changed my life. She talks about how everyone is perfect, just the way they are. And our brain often talks to you and tries and sabotage your effort. And we hold on to things that we are comfortable with, that we don't want to change. She talks about insights on how you can overcome limitations and how we can set ourselves free and move forward. I personally have encouragements from her and her book. I took the plunge when she asked me to be a speaker at her Low Carb Lifestyle Long Weekend. And I've now spoken 3 times in the last 3 years. I also started my business because of her influence, not because of her telling me what to do, but just listen to her things. And I've come up with all these thoughts on building my own things and creating my new direction. And looking into her guidance and her teachings, I've decided to create this new life for myself. She talks about thoughts, how thoughts affects feelings and the feelings affect behaviors. You don't have to listen to these thoughts. You don't have to listen to this habitual mind that just keep talking at you and telling you to not do things and telling you you're not good enough. So, loving Tracy's thoughts. Avoid stress. It's not worth it. Move away from stressful things. Change all parts of lifestyle. I agree, absolutely. I need a dog to hug. I've got 2 dogs. They are crazy. Maria agrees with Kari. Absolutely. Don't stress too much. So if you have stress, certainly it is quite hard to get out of, but we can learn to manage our thoughts. My husband is recovering from encephalitis. Oh dear, it's been very stressful. Take one day at a time helps. So be mindful, this is what's happening. Practice more self-compassion. Realize this is what's happening to your mind, and it might just help with managing on how this is happening to you. So the benefits of having a health coach is they can point you to the right direction. They help you to discover what is good for you. They keep you accountable, and they give you individualized treatment, individualized advice. They will help you to look at the big picture. You've got to look into the right direction yourself. They will guide you. They're not going to tell you exactly what to do, but you have to find out yourself. So who has a health coach? Who thinks a health coach might benefit them? Maybe I can be a health coach, but you can certainly just follow Tracy. You can. Helena is a fantastic health coach, but maybe just looking into health coaching might be a good idea too. Making changes is so much easier once you become fat adapted. Your mind gets clearer and you have more hope, and you will do what needs to be done. Absolutely, I agree. Being fat adapted certainly helps with your mind and getting clearer thoughts and more mental clarity. Then we're going to talk about meditation. So a lot of people say, oh, I can't have my mind blank. I can't focus. I can't clear my mind. So the answer to that is it doesn't matter. You don't have to clear your mind. Your mind will wander and you will think about your next chore. You will think about your shopping list. It doesn't matter. That's okay. You just simply notice that's what's happening. Simply notice the thoughts are coming in and you acknowledge it and you go back to listening to your breathing. It doesn't matter that you can't clear your thought. It's never too late to start again. The more you practice, the better you get. You can start with guided meditation. You can use apps like Insight Timer, Headspace, Smiling Mind. YouTube is fantastic. A clear mind would be wonderful. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up about having a clear mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect every single day. So if you find you don't have time, you can create time. I started doing 5 minutes meditation first thing in the morning before I look at social media. This is the last 2 months and I've just got into a habit and I've finished a 49-day challenge with a website lady called Alexis Guthridge. It's in your notes. So you can sign up to a 49-day challenge if you like. She sends you the 5 minutes meditation into your text message. And I put on this text message audio recording for just 5 minutes every morning, first thing in the morning, before I look at social media. And I've done that for the last 49 days. It's been fantastic. And I've got into this habit. Hopefully I will stick to this habit. So that's a great idea. Yeah, in your notes, what do you need in your notes? So in your email that I've sent you earlier today, there's the notes that it's downloadable. So you can go back later and I'll show you a bit later on where to find these notes. You have to download it from my website. So healthy relationships is very, very important as well. Call a friend, text a friend, or organize a catch up. That it's fantastic for your health. Organize date nights with your husband. And if they're unhelpful relationships, it's okay to say goodbye to those relationships. If you can't say goodbye to those relationships, you can maybe work on your mind to try and not be affected by them. I certainly know of people that are very affected by some relationships. Some relationships are helpful, some are not. So just be aware if they're not helpful, try and tell yourself that you can't control them, just block them out or something. I struggle to stay on track when I'm dealing with husband's chronic illnesses. Yeah, that's hard. So you can join a support group. We set up Low Carb Melbourne, as I said. It's 2 years old a couple of days ago. And in the notes again, there is a link. You can join Low Carb Melbourne. You don't have to live in Melbourne to join Low Carb Melbourne. Again, you can find a local park run, and that could be your local community, and you can hang around those people, and you might want to start walking with them or do some gentle running. Managing addictions. So alcohol, cigarette, screen addictions. Sugar, processed foods are certainly addictive substances. I am currently doing a module from Nutrition Network learning about sugar and processed food addiction. I come to learn that addiction is not your fault. The food substances have actually changed. They are designed to change your brain. So the chemicals are designed to make you addicted. That's why there's food engineers to engineer the processed foods to make you addicted and keep you eating and eating. So maybe these addictions have started when you were in your mummy's tummy. Maybe your mum had no idea on these chemicals have actually infiltrated your baby. I might have caused some sugar addiction in my kids before I knew about low carb. So some people who are addicted to food or sugar, maybe they need to have abstinence rather than cut down. So you might have to think about that. If you are addicted to alcohol, it's very hard to tell an alcoholic to have moderation. alcoholics really need abstinence. So food addicts or sugar addicts, they might really need to have abstinence rather than just moderation. So the key to treatment for addiction is intensive support. There are specialists that works on food addictions that are trying to get 24-hour support. When you have cravings, you can connect with somebody or a support group. Also, there's cues. So some people look at something and they trigger the mind and they sets off their addiction. So for example, if you if you come home and this is the time of the day before dinner, addiction triggers and it's time for wine or time for my nuts. So maybe we need to work on these cues and we need to have complete abstinence. And so it's also important to surround yourself with like-minded people. For example, those that have recovered from food addiction and have abstained, it can take 12 to 18 months or even much, much longer for people to recover from addictions. Same with screens and games from our kids with lights and sounds as rewards, absolutely. I'm trying to get my kids off the screens, but very, very hard. So we're going to talk about how we're going to work on it. So this is how we're going to succeed. You must know your why. So write down why you want to do it. Know why you want to do it. And we're going to have a goal. We're going to be very specific and write down these goals. Small goals, small, very specific goals. We're going to practice self-compassion and we're going to be nice to ourselves. Make 100% commitment. Create foundation habits. So we're going to start creating these habits little bits at a time, small steps, and you can think about how to tag along these new habits with existing habits. And we're going to write down these plans. For example, with my meditation habit, I tagged along this habit first thing in the morning before I looked at the social media, before I looked at the screen. And I have managed to succeed. This habit, we're going to get out of our comfort zone. Your comfort zone is this tiny circle. That's not where the magic happens. We're going to have to get out of the comfort zone. That's where the magic happens. Your comfort zone in the beginning will be small and not comfortable. Then you'll get more and more comfortable later on. And then it will become a habit and your comfort zone will be getting bigger and bigger and increase in size. So if something is comfortable, it won't lead to progress. So we're going to learn to embrace the discomfort. When Tracy McBeath asked me to do a talk, that's not comfortable, but I embraced the discomfort and know it'll be uncomfortable. And then it led to progress. And I'm getting more used to public speaking now. This is what she said. Small and consistent choices are the path to deep transformation. Healing is a daily event that requires you to regularly show up for yourself. So you've got to think about this every day. Small steps, show up for yourself, do it for yourself, and it'll become more and more comfortable. Program your mind to succeed. Type in the screen, succeed. So we're going to take a plunge. We're going to get out of our comfort zone. You can ask for help. Right, lots of succeeds. So asking for help is very, very normal. You can ask your friend, you can ask a support group, you can go ask Low Carb Melbourne, you can ask me, you can go ask a health coach. There's lots and lots of ways you can ask for help. Don't listen to the habitual mind or the self-doubt mind or the negative voice that keeps telling you you can't do it. Follow your dreams. Again, the discomfort, embrace the discomfort. Program your mind to success. Take power of your thoughts. Create positive emotions. I explored these food addiction cues, dopamine-seeking behaviors, and found some similarities with friends' mental issues. The stress tolerance techniques seem to help. Yes, sure, absolutely. So I found this picture very, very powerful. I this looks like the negative voice that keeps talking to you. It's the mind telling you to go get the chocolate, go get the sugar, or telling you you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're weak. So you can tell it to go away. You can put a name to it. You can call it a name. Maybe you can call it nasty or baddie. You can tell nasty, I'm not listening to you. You're just telling me negative things. And be aware, this is what the mind does. The mind always wants to stay in its own comfortable spot. So hopefully I can embed this image in your mind that this baddie or nasty keeps talking to you. You can learn to ignore it. It might be hard in the beginning, but as you get more used to it, it gets easier. So as a GP, we do lots of action plans. We do asthma action plans. We do mental health plans and care plans. So I'm going to help you draw up an action plan. So write down an action plan. What happens when I have cravings? So you can write it all down. Decide if it's emotional hunger or physical hunger. So when you have a craving, like before dinner, when I'm cooking dinner, I crave for nuts. Actually, when I'm driving home after work, I actually think about the nuts already. I'm gonna think about if it's emotional hunger or physical hunger. Of course, it's emotional hunger because I'm driving, I'm not really hungry, and I had lots of protein and healthy food for lunch. And it often is boredom, and it's an old habit that's talking to me. And I can ask myself, is eating this going to be helpful for my goals? Probably not. Then there's 4 Ds you can practice. You can put in an action plan. Delay it. So you can think about, I'll delay it until 6 o'clock. That might be helpful. Or even 6:30 when I'm just before cooking dinner, or even 7 o'clock. Then you get distracted with cooking dinner or doing something else. You can do some deep breathing. So if you're having cravings, do some deep breathing for 3 big breaths. Then you might get distracted and forget about it. Distract yourself. You can have a list of distracting things. Drink a glass of water. You can have a little bit of salt. You can tell the old habit to go away. Tell nasty or baddie, go away. Do some mindfulness or breathing. Be aware of your own feeling. Don't beat yourself up. Be curious of what this nasty or baddie is talking to you. You can call a friend, you can write an email, you can email me if you're having a craving, that's okay. I might not respond to you straight away, but that might distract you enough. You can write a text message. You can create a post on a Facebook group like Low Carb Melbourne. We don't care. We'll be all very supportive. You can go for a walk. You can put a note on the fridge. Do 10 push-ups if you're having a craving. You can make a herbal tea. I like that. You can write in a journal. You can keep a book. You can go clean the house. You can declutter a drawer, declutter an area in the house. You can go hug a pet, as we talked about. So there's 4 Ds: delay, deep breathing, distract, and decatastrophize. So tell yourself you're not going to die if you don't eat those nuts. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to eat that sugar. It's not the end of the world. So we're getting almost to the end. So this is what I work on. You want to thrive, not just survive. So type in thrive in the chat box if you want to thrive. If you want to just survive, then you eat the standard diet. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, thrive for sure. Work on yourself, by yourself, for yourself. Nobody's going to look after you more than yourself. So be the best friend of yourself. So I actually did a list because I wanted to have my New Year resolution well. Lots of thrives. Yay. Improve listening skills. As a GP, I want to listen to my patients and avoid judging anybody. Learn more about marketing because this is my new area. Prioritize self-care. Meditate. Again, I want to keep meditating. Spend more time with the kids. Then there's the to stop list, to stop eating those nuts before dinner. So I'm pretty bad at that. I'm getting more aware. The plan is I'm going to get an electrolyte drink when I'm craving for those nuts while I'm cooking dinner. Stop scrolling mindlessly on socials. Again, I'm bad at that. Stop checking emails nonstop. Stop multitasking. I'm craving for nuts now. I'm sorry to make you crave for nuts. I have a rule that I don't eat after 7, so that actually works. So this is me. So you're most welcome to get help from me. You can do telehealth with me if you're not around. You can book in a face-to-face appointment with me. I'm in Wantirna in Melbourne. And again, when you come in to see me, I work on these 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, and I will do a plan for you to help you work on all these 6 pillars. Maybe there's only 1 or 2 pillars that you need to work on. And I would love you to sign up to this new course, which is starting on the 2nd of January. So with this new course, it's a 28-day complete guide to low carb. We're going to start on the first Monday of January. It comes with a weekly Zoom meeting every Thursday night at 7:30. We're going to have accountability. We're going to have a chat. And if there's no chat, I'm going to do a talk. And we're going to all chat about how we're going. There's lots of topics that I have already built on in this course. So this course is designed for you to finish in 4 weeks. You didn't get the email today. I will forward it to you again. Each week there's new lessons. And if you sign up before Christmas, which is only a few days away, you can get 40% off using the code WELCOME40. The topic we'll cover is why low carb, what is metabolic health, benefits of low carb, conditions that low carb can help. What about cholesterol and how to track your journey? How to start low carb, the basics. And there's the free ebook again, which you can download again. How to build a low carb plate, simplified. How to do shopping and how to read food labels. Doing low carb as a family, eating out and how to stay low carb. And then we're going to talk about the pillars of lifestyle again. How to start exercise, how to optimize sleep, managing stress, managing addictions. And we're going to troubleshoot on low carb. So I'm going to put in a few ideas on troubleshooting, some practical tips and community support. And then there's a few extras on so the videos from my free information night that we had a couple of months ago. Tracy McBee talks about mindset. Helena Castanis talks about how to start how she started her low carb journey. There's also other extras like recipe book by Tracy and a few articles. That's a great photo of you, by the way. Thank you. I had a photo shoot with a good lady, so she did fantastic photos. If you haven't started low carb, highly recommend it. It will change your life for the better in so many ways. Absolutely. Thursday is track running. I'm sorry. I haven't been running. So you can also download my journey workbook. It looks like that. There's goals and there's weekly planners. There's a space you can write a food diary. You can have a daily planner. You can write down blood test markers. It's only priced at $90 to download this marker, a workbook. And in your email, which I will send again, since some people haven't received it, it could be in your junk mail folder. So check again, but I will resend it. You will get this New Year resolution workbook, which you can download. And the notes this is the notes, the worksheet plan with the notes and the links that you can click on. So, sorry it took about an hour. I was planning to be shorter and have some time for questions. So you can most welcome to stay for questions. New donut shop at Stud Park shops, keep away. I don't eat donuts anymore. So yeah, but my husband and my kids are very hard to get them away to stay away from donuts. Oh, thank you, Pam. I can't seem to shift the fat under my chest, visceral fat. I'm hoping the course will help with that, as well as type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol. I think I am pretty sure the course will help with all of that, and it'll give you the support. If the course doesn't help, you're most welcome to see me in the clinic, and I'm hoping to help you with that, Marie. Thank you, Avi. I haven't heard BDNF. What you should Google when you get out of here is Google 10 ways to lower BDNF. And that's from some coffee place. It's a website by Strong Coffee. And there's 10 ways on how you can lower BDNF. So certainly exercise and socializing and fasting is all in there. So you can Google it, and that's great to increase your BDNF. I like some low carb recipe website suggestions, please. Absolutely. So if you've signed up for my free low carb benefits for low carb course, there is a list of websites on recipes. There's even a list of resources on my website. So you can look up free websites, free recipe websites. I'll mention a few now if you like, and you can write it down and you can Google them. I love Mad Creation. That's by Megan Allen. So she's got fantastic websites. Then there's a man called Aaron Day, Fat for Weight Loss, and he does fantastic. Again, yeah, Diet Doctor, he's great. I mean, not he, but the website is great. Lots and lots of recipes. I get free access to Defeat Diabetes. So if you want to join Defeat Diabetes, because I enroll my patients to Defeat Diabetes research. If you know of any diabetics that are not on low carb and are keen to go low carb, they can be enrolled in Defeat Diabetes trial and go get free Defeat Diabetes access. Then there's, what other websites can I think of on the top of my mind? Low Carb Young. What is the trial? The trial is the Defeat Diabetes trial. So if you're a diabetic and if you're not on low carb, and if you have a GP that can enroll you on this trial, then, so Diane, you can shoot me an email and see if we can talk about it. And I might be able to get you into this trial. If you're a diabetic, I can get you in this free trial, but you have to become my patient. So yeah, shoot me an email. Any other questions? Thank you for all the support. I breathe, I'm hungry too. I think that's good. Great. So I would love you to sign up to my 28-day online program. If you decide not to, that's okay. I hope I've helped you tonight. And you're most welcome to come and see me. Thank you, Kari. I'm hoping I'm changing people's lives and spreading the word and on lifestyle and nutrition and improving their sleep. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Pam. The plan is Westerfolds Park Run this Saturday, but I need 3 hours, so I don't have to run on the Christmas day. Timekeeper, all right. I'm doing many 3 hours walking and running. All right. Everyone most welcome to shoot me an email. I will email everyone again on the notes and the workbook. And thank you again. I really appreciate my visit to you the other day, feeling better about the future. Thank you. Great. Lovely. Shoot me an email, anybody. Okay. I'm going to stop recording.